Hi, it's Jane and Heather and Alexandra for coffee chat time today. Cheers. Got your coffee, everyone? It's almost impossible. So, welcome. Heather and I are super excited today for coffee chat time because we have invited Alexandra Babbel to join us. She's a world-renowned soprano and the founding artistic director of Opera Kelowna. So we thought it was appropriate. Thanks. Welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you.
We thought it would be appropriate to talk about how cultivating laughter, song, and dance are good for our souls, especially during this time. So it'll be good. And I'm just going to read something quickly. Heather and I were talking about it because Heather and I both read Gifts of Imperfection, Brene Brown. Have you read that, Alexandra?
I haven't, but I've heard about it. That I've heard of I listen Audible.
Yeah.
I've heard of other stuff from her. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. So it's really good. So I'm just going to read this quickly and then we'll blab. So she says, laughter, song, and dance create emotional and spiritual connection. They remind us of the one thing that truly matters. When we are searching for comfort, celebration, inspiration, or healing, we are not alone. That's what it reminds us of. Isn't that amazing? And I think we need that more than ever.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the third time. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Alexandra.
I said I wish I would have written that. I wish I made that up.
So Heather, how are you doing today?
Oh, good. Really good. Really good. We're going to have my grandson's 4th birthday party as soon as we're done here today. He's 4 tomorrow, so we're having a few people over. So I don't know, we're going to socially distance somehow around my beautiful cake that I made him. So
she made the most amazing rainbow cake. I saw it, like layers and layers and layers, like 6 cakes or something.
Yeah. I asked him, do you want a dinosaur cake for your birthday? And he's like, no. And I'm like, what? Because he loves dinosaurs. And I'm like, how about a chocolate cake? No. And then into my mind came, how about a rainbow cake? I don't know why I said that. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay.
See, so it's all about, you guys are going to go, you're going to feel happy because there at a birthday, there's going to be song, it's going to be dance, right? And laughter.
Yes.
So Alexandra, how you're a very happy person. Heather and I were talking about this. She's a very joyous person. And I think it's because you do have so much music in your life. Just curious if you grew up with music. Was your family musical?
Yes, absolutely. So my parents are immigrants, and I'm the only American-born member of my family. I think I mentioned that last time. But there was a song for every conceivable thing. So there's a song for thanking, songs for wedding, songs at funeral, songs for everything. And it was the singing that was the major part of the family. Now, it wasn't trained singing, but it was very heartfelt and passionate, and in those Slavic sounds, those big open sounds. So very much music was all about it.
That's amazing. Because how long were you an opera singer for? How long did you work in that?
Well, let's see. I made my first operatic sounds in a voice lesson when I was 17, 27, 37. Let's just stop there. 20 years-ish plus GST.
But you're very joyous. Like, Heather, tell everyone about you went for a walk with Alexandra, and afterwards Heather was like, oh my goodness, she's the happiest person.
Well, the way I described it was that you are a beacon of joy, because each and every person that we passed on the walk, our socially distanced walk, and if they were riding their bike or walking, you spoke to them even very quickly as they were zipping by on their bike. So you brought a lot of joy. And as well, I remember you talking to this woman that we figured was at her mailbox, and maybe we were the only people that she talked to that day. You told her that you really liked her belt or how she was dressed, and like that really, yeah. So you are a beacon of joy.
I'm highly inappropriate most times because I'm all that. So it's hard to rein me in, but I believe in making at least 5 connections a day.
Oh.
Somehow inside of you, if you can make 5 new connections a day, whether online or phoning someone or randomly speaking to strangers, there's something inside in your own vibration that changes. So I believe in that. And I also think it's empowering to know that you might have changed their day. Maybe she was the only, and it was a cute belt. Wasn't she all dolled up? And she was maybe 80 something, maybe 90 something. I don't know. But she lit up, didn't she? She's so, yeah. Now, it may seem as though I'm all joy and happy clappy, and I've been defined by a friend as a leggy Pollyanna. I will take it. I love when you talk to me like that. But the truth of the matter is, I've had an extraordinary amount of grief in my life. I'm acquainted with grief, as it were. And I think because my parents were so much older and my siblings are so much older, I've already lost many of them, both parents and a number of siblings, aunts and uncles, lots of loss and grief. And then in my own personal life, changing from living in Chicago to Canada, there's a grieving in that move. There's a grieving when I've changed vocation, grieving to leaving university in an academic position to not an academic position. So all those things of loss, I'm very acquainted with loss. So I think the biggest work for me, and now let me add this, that the entire culture is grieving right now. Usually one or the other of us grieve so we can help each other out. But the entire culture, the society in general is grieving all of a sudden. So what to do with all of that? And we hold these things in our body and in our spirits and in our minds. So what do we do with that? So
it's so true. Do you, like, this is the thing that's interesting to me when we started looking into this whole all the music, and I thought I actually like a pretty quiet house. But then when we do decide to put music on, you can feel the change inside you, right? And so if you're feeling down or sad, if you actually just make the effort to go turn on some happy music, it will affect you.
Exactly.
Right?
But I might even add that when I'm sad, I love sad music and it makes me happy. What does that mean? But it actually works. You put the Rachmaninoff number 2 on, the piano concerto, I can't drive with that on. It's epically, unapologetically luxuriating in agony. Oh, it's so good.
Okay, what is that song?
It's the Rachmaninoff Concerto number 2, Sergio Rachmaninoff. Okay, I'll make you a little playlist, girlfriend. And so that music actually changes you when you feel the connection with another in this place. I can't just abandon you when you're down. I have to come get you. So I need to come get you and let's go out together, right?
Oh my goodness, I love this because, you know, I am very empathetic. There's 2 types of people. I look at there's sympathy and empathy, which both are different. I'm very empathetic. I think Heather and I've talked about this because there is a cartoon and it shows like a deep pit and this girl laying at the bottom and a ladder. And it shows sympathy as someone's looking down and going, when you're feeling better, you can come up and we can hang out. And then there's empathy. She crawls down the ladder, lays beside her friend, holds her hand, and when she's ready, they come up together. That's empathy. And I'm not saying that either is bad. It's just different.
Yeah.
But I would 100% go down the ladder and lay there. And so that song, you're saying it brings you into that. You feel like you're not alone, or that you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I think as an empath, you have to be careful because, Heather, I am going to guess that you are a sponge. And when you're with someone else, you can feel their stuff. And so we're not always equipped to carry everybody else's stuff. So interesting. the atmosphere in a room. You can cut it with a knife. This is the language that we use when we're actually saying your vibration next to my vibration, or your spirit next to mine, or your breath next to mine is affecting me in the following ways. And sometimes I have caught up with the need to be helpful and losing myself, not caring for myself in the process, which is the definition of burnout. And so I think this season that we're in right now is a luxury of spending more time resting, meditating, praying, fitness, good food, quiet. I think it's very important. Jane, you said something about music in the house. Most of the time it's completely quiet in here because music is my job. So it's really nice to have quiet. My problem is if I'm ever listening to vocal music or operatic music or any kind of music like that, it's work. No, it's inadvertently work because I'm listening again. And musically, when the birds sing, I am saying to John, that bird sang so mi do 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 do. I'm solfeging the bird songs. Okay, I have to get over it, right? So quiet is really lovely. I just started an hour a day unguided silent meditation. I'm not unfamiliar with a quiet place because I was raised Christian and it's a prayer kind of posture, but an hour of complete silence, of left just to my own mental demise, is
Wow.
hard work. But was it Jay Shetty or who was it that said that after 60 days of this behavior, the chatter will go away? So
Jay Shetty, he's amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So these are the things that really help me. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, Jane, is have you considered the breath, and what it means?
Okay, so this is interesting. And Heather, I don't know how you feel about this, but so I have listened to Wim Hof. I really like the Wim Hof breathing. Do you, Heather?
I'm not familiar.
So, we should put his website in the bottom. But to be honest, I haven't actually tried his breathing. I understand it, but I haven't actually sat and done the Wim Hof exercises. He's actually on Netflix. There is a show, Gwyneth Paltrow show.
Goop.
I can't remember the name of it. But
Goop
Lab. With Wim Hof, you should watch it because he's all about the breath, and it's healing, and it's very intense, deep breaths, but there's a pattern to it. Do you do that, Alexandra?
Absolutely. In fact, I really wanted to chat to you about this very concept, being so immersed in the study of the breath. It's so exciting. Can I tell you a couple of things?
Well, because you're a singer, I'm sure you are aware of the breathing more than most people, right?
Exactly. And there are very few opera singers, if any, who have circulation problems at all. They would not pass because of that. It's other things, but not that. Circulation problems, no. The breath, the deep breathing is the job. That's the job. And the breathing in for a singer is shorter, and then the exhalation is much, much longer because you're singing the phrases. So the job is to stay taller, broader, run out of breath, but who cares, right? That thing, that elevation, the lifting. But this goes beyond that, much beyond that. The fact that breath is life, and that breath is an entity unto itself, and that breath can be your companion. Now, there's an idea I'm starting to learn from my yogi friends. Let the breath breathe you. Hold this position and let the breath do the work. What is happening? I'm thinking, what are they talking about? But then I think back to the Judeo-Christian thought, and I'm thinking about the Hebrew word for breath, which is ruach, my very favorite word in all the world. Ruach is the third entity of the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Ruach. So for Christian people, that makes sense to them. For the yogi, they talk about breath as having its own thing. I don't know. I'm evolving in my thinking that we're all talking about the same thing, and that the breath itself can teach. Now, I've told you about Jeff Sorensen. He's got a thing called Breath Army, and on Netflix this morning, on Sundays and Wednesdays, we all get together on Instagram, or not Netflix, on Instagram, and we all breathe together. He does the gentle version on Wednesday nights, and I always fall asleep. That's embarrassing. And then he does the more aggressive kind of breathing, right? So, and there's in what's involved in it is also the retention outside your body. So you're empty and you leave it out. And you breathe in, and there's a retention inside the body. Each of these things begin to neuroscientifically oxygenate the brain, change your breath, you change your thinking. Now, we all know that because, Jane, you know, when you're really nervous, what happens to your breath?
Oh, yeah, it gets short and yeah.
Yeah, and Heather, when you're feeling just about asleep, what's your breath doing?
Oh, it's slowing down.
Exactly. And when you have performance anxiety, it gets shallow. And when you're mad, so change your breath, change your thinking. This is what Jeff says. So we change our breathing. It's really not a hard thing to do, but this change of the breath, slowing the breath down, slows the heart rate down, all those things. And Wim Hof then also. And Jeff's the one who taught me the Wim Hof clinic day. And then he does his own thing. So the thing is slowing down, staying calm. During retention, I'm okay. I'm okay. Shh, 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 I'm okay. I'm okay. And this teaching your body to not panic in a otherwise scary situation.
That's so good.
Can you imagine all of the implications of that discipline?
Well, and it would be just like becoming aware of your thoughts, because our thoughts are automatic. But when, we don't think about it, and when all of a sudden you are training yourself to be like, wait, I don't like that thought, or catch it. It's the same as your breath, because we take it for granted, we don't think about it. But when you can become aware of how you're breathing and train yourself to breathe deeper and slower, it's powerful, hey?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. And when you're in meditation or prayer, returning to the breath, when you start getting that chatty mind, that practice, just, okay, in, out. Wim Hof was fully in, let it go. Fully in, I like his accent too. Fully in, let it go. He says other
Heather,
things.
how are you with breathing? Like, I know you're really fit.
Last week we talked about breath being your anchor in meditation, because we talked about meditation. So that's your anchor. So that all fits along with what you're saying. And as well, breath is right here, right now. So it connects you to the present moment.
Yeah.
So there are many, many different ways to breathe. Like you brought up a couple. The ones that I'm familiar with are the box breathing or the 4-7-8. I think that's Dr. Andrew Weil. Mm-hmm. So I think there's many different ways to connect to your breath.
Yeah.
But basically, and to feel it, like you can put your hand on your abdomen and on your chest. And I think that helps to also connect you to the feelings that come with that. So, oh yeah, and when you were talking about the different, like what happens to you in different states, we'll just say, like when I'm anxious, I realize I don't exhale. So if I can exhale, and a longer exhale, I do think is really good, like what you're talking about with singing. So it's all interconnected. And I think we're all talking about the same thing. We just have different verbiage for it, right? So
yeah. Exactly. Well, there's something else that I had written down, which I think was cool. And it's music is believed to have a healing influence on the brain and body. The human brain is wired to connect to the frequency and vibration of rhythm and tones.
Oh, did you just say frequency?
Right? So it's like we're already.
I love it. So,
yeah.
have you ever spent any time thinking about where this all came from in the first place. Where did the original major scale come from? Where does this all originate? Well, the Pythagoras is the one who took a lute string. Am I boring you?
No.
String, and he played it, and it was at a certain pitch. Half as long, exactly half as long, is exactly an octave higher. So he starts thinking, this is fascinating. Vibrations per second affect the pitch. So 432 vibrations per second is the A. And then 864 is the A an octave higher, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But these are also important, these numbers, because 432, guess what? The original bowls, the healing bowls.
The singing bowls? The ones that sing?
432 vibrations per second. I can hardly stand it. And some of these early flutes, those flutes, the wooden flutes. And so each one of these have their own vibration, and vibrations change your body, your molecular structure. Are there frequency sonic sounds of healing? Maybe that's too woo-hoo. I don't know the answer.
Honestly?
Oh my goodness, what if?
But I was looking before this, there was a few studies done where they studied people with chronic illnesses from 18 years old to 100, and they played certain types of music, and it was unbelievable what it did for them. It said, the study showed it relieved pain, encouraged relaxation, increased their quality of life, and improved their mood. So people that were in palliative care, because what it did in the brain, like that, I thought it was amazing.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
super healing. So even now in the time that we're at, I think all of us have to make an effort to play more music. Like the other day, I posted a story on my Facebook with me jumping with the baby. Amber was over here, and
you're the cutest. Oh, so cute.
and Maurice, and Amber has a really cute song, and it's really, you jump around and it says freeze, and then you dance, and then you skip. And Kyla is 9 months old. She goes like this. Her legs just fly in the air as she's dancing to the music, and the whole atmosphere in our house changes. Like, we're already happy, but this puts the dancing and the music and the singing along, like all together, especially if we're like, maybe, I don't know, getting tired, like, let's put the music on.
Yeah.
Like that. We all feel so happy.
It's totally true. It changes the vibration. So, Ruth Anderson is a friend of mine. You guys have to go. Remember the last time we had coffee, the three of us? And now we're doing it this way. Anyway, Ruth Anderson took me down to Idaho to this place called Quantum Sounds and Worship or something like that. I forgot the name of this conference. Okay? So here's me, the crazy me. Everyone's going to listen to this and say, oh my God, she's crazy. I'm crazy. So
you're good crazy.
Good crazy. Well, we'll see. I got down there. I walked into the lobby of the hotel where we were staying. I saw a gentleman standing there, and I thought, oh my goodness, I have to spontaneously walk up and talk to him. This is me. You know this, Heather. I walk up to him, and I said, there's 12, right? He said, yep, there's 12. And the first and the last are the same. Well, what is he talking about? What am I talking about? Who is this dude? I don't know. It's all in this other weird zone. We can label it, but I'm not gonna. I'm already ostracized. Okay, so what is it? There are 12 pitches in the octave. The C, the C sharp, the D sharp. Anyways, each one with their own vibration, their own frequency. And the first note, C, and the octave higher, C, are the same, except for exactly double the vibrations an octave apart. I talked about that. Okay. I go to the first meeting. He's the keynote speaker. Now, I didn't know that, but I just felt like he would have the answer to this random weird question. Turns out there is a thinking that when you change a frequency in a space, that's why people want to sing together. That's why choirs want to make harmonies together. That's why people go to church together. We want to be together and change a frequency in our space and change our own selves. And you're right, it does have neuroscientific, actual, real stuff. It's not totally woo-ho, right? There's a book called This Is Your Brain on Music. It's a great book. You guys got to read it. It's incredible.
This is your brain on music? Oh.
This is your brain on music. And it will talk exactly about this documented neuroscientific truths about what music can do to your health. And then I learned that there is an understanding by certain cultures that if you take a sick person and you sing over that person, you can make them either mentally better, spiritually better. I don't know about physically better, but who knows? Who knows?
Wow.
Hoff talks about oxygenating the breath of the brain, alkaline the brain. So who knows about these things? But this is my quest to learn more about this. Then I learned that each pitch has its own vowel, and each vowel has its own healing component, like almost the essential oils kind of thing. Okay,
you're amazing.
Way out there. Okay,
no,
rain.
But you're a person that has so found your passion in your life. Hey, Heather, you can just feel the minute you talk about music, you're just like, and yeah, and I really do believe that's where your joy comes from. I don't know, it's amazing. But the other thing that we're gonna talk about too is laughter, right? Laughter is so healing. I think that the girlfriends, like I have a group of 5 girlfriends that we get together with, but now with social distancing, we haven't been able to. And I just always feel that that's so healing, because we'll laugh till we almost pee, like that deep, deep laughter where you're on the floor laughing. We could be crying about something, and then the next minute we're laughing. And I think that's super healing too, right? It does something to your brain, just stress relief, I guess.
Heather,
you miss that?
It lowers your cortisol, right?
Yeah.
I think it would have lots of healing properties too. So I like laughing so hard where your abs hurt the next day, and it's like you can't even work out to make yourself hurt like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's good.
It's true. I'm always looking for a reason to laugh. I love it. And it's so healthy for you to laugh. And I notice too, when you're not getting together with your friends, you're not laughing as much. And I don't know, I think that's one of the things I miss the most is the spontaneous joke making, the ridiculous things that we said before we went live, right? Just to laugh. I'm constantly looking for a reason to do it.
I know.
It's so good for us. No,
and I love my husband, and he makes me laugh, but it's not the same as my girlfriends. No way. The girlfriend humor.
We're attracted to some of our men. My Mr. Handsome is got the most dry sense of humor. I think it's one of the first things that charmed me the most is that he had this way of making me roar with laughter. I mean, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, that's the same as Ed. To go to my husband, he's a pilot, more serious, but I think he's hilarious. I don't know. Other people don't. I'm like, he's this dry, hilarious sense of humor.
Another reason we have to get together when we can, right? I think they get along famously. This is so funny. John's very subtle. And it's always like you got to think about it and go, oh, that was a thinly veiled compliment, but actually not a compliment at all. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Anyway, we should probably, do you have anything else to add, Heather or Alexandra?
No, I just wanted to remind everybody that we did take this from The Gifts of Imperfection, and that this is the 3rd time we've talked about one of the guideposts. And if you missed any of the other ones, they'll be on our YouTube channel, and you just have to look them up, and you'll be able to find out what a couple of those other ones are. So, Yeah,
this book's amazing. Love it.
I'm gonna get it.
Because we all need to be imperfectly perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Truth is, we all are actually.
we are.
When we pretend, that's a level of acquaintance, but that's not true connection. So as soon as one of us lets our hair down, everyone else sighs a great sigh of relief and says, "Oh, now we can be friends," and really and truly friends. And that's what it means. They say the older you get, women need their girlfriends. As we get older, men need a good woman, but women need their girlfriends, right? And then,
okay, we should do another one on this one. We'll talk just about our girlfriends and being imperfect.
I love it. And I've already told you more than I know, so.
Well,
All
you're
right.
a wealth of
Cheers.
knowledge, Alexandra. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. I love it. Cheers. See
So
you. Where's your
cheers.
coffee? Okay, cheers. Thanks, Alexandra. Thanks, Heather.
Anytime, darlings.
See you.